Pinakabagong pasabog ibinunyag ni Senator Villanueva umano'y pagnanakaw ng 1.4 billion na kinokonekta kay Pangulong Cote Jr. Sa isang pahayag nitong Lunes, sinabing ang malaking halaga ng pera ay di umano'y nailipat sa isang pribadong account sa ibang bansa na nagdulot ng malaking isyu sa pamahalaan at pagkatismaya sa taong bayan. Ayon kay Villanueva, ang impormasyon na kaniyang natanggap ay mula sa isang mapagkakatiwalaang source sa loob mismo ng gobyerno. Binigyan diin ng senador na may matibay siyang ebidensya na magpapatunay sa kaniyang mga akusasyon. Dahil dito nananawagan siya ng isang malalimang imbestigasyon upang mabigyan ng linaw ang isyu at mapanagot ang mga sangkot. Sa ngayon, wala pang opisyal na pahayag mula kay Pangulong Kuting o sa kaniyang mga tagapagsalita ukol sa isyong ito. Samantala, patuloy na binabantayan ng publiko ang mga susunod na hakbang ng Senado at ang posibilidad ng mga pag-usbong ng mga bagong detalye na maaring magdagdag ng kontrobersiyang ito. At yan nga ang balitang ating pagkakatutukan. Ngunit bago ang lahat, siguraduhin mag-subscribe at i-hit ang notification bell para sa patuloy na pagtutok sa mga sulip ng bagong balita sa tunay na boses ng masa.
Our Majority Leader, Senator Tolentino, our Deputy Majority Leader, Senator JV, sa ating pong mga resource persons, hayaan yung i-acknowledge ko po yung tatlong secretary na nakikita ko, Secretary Bonoan, Secretary Loizaga, Secretary Borge, of course si Chairman Artes ng MMDA. Magandang umaga po sana sa atin lahat. Hindi ko po alam kung papaano ako magsisimula sapagkat isang taon na yung nakakaraan. Natetempt po ako na i-play na lang yung opening statement ko last year because it's still timely, very timely. And I remember saying na panay-hearing kami dito, and I remember saying na some people would think na hanggang hearing na lang kami. And that was last year. Ngayon parang pati ako nakukonvince na rin. Mr. Chairman, nung Monday po nag-deliver tayo ng privilege speech dito sa plenaryo ukol po sa usapin ng matinding pagbaha. Ang title nga nung privilege speech natin, Anli Baha. Kaya nagpapasalamat tayo kay Chairman Revilla sa pagpapatawag muli ng pagdinig nito. Sana po itong Anli hearings tungkol sa Anli Baha magkaroon na ng pangmatagalang solusyon. Dahil yung Anli hearings mahirap at masakit din po pakinggan, lalo na sa isang public servant who hails from the province of Bulacan na laging hinihingan ng resibo kung ano na yung nagawa or po pwede pang magawa doon sa aming lalawigan. Hindi po ako magtatagal sa aking opening statement. I'd rather hear the reports coming from different agencies of the government and perhaps ask questions. Tulad po ng mga nabanggit ng aking mga kasamahan at nabanggit natin dun sa privilege speech natin nitong nakaraang Lunes, nais po nating malaman yung mga sumusunod, no? Una, doon sa SONA ng ating Pangulo.
Nako!
At report ng DPWH, 5,500 plus flood control projects ang natapos na. We wanted to find out kung nasan po ito at yun po ba kumpleto at integrated sa isang master plan, kasi kung hindi, baka baliwala. Ano ba yung real status ng flood management master plan? Pinakitaan po ako ni Senator Amy noong 1972 na meron pong Executive Presidential Decree number 18 na imagine po, nag-establish na ng Metropolitan Manila Flood Control and Drainage Council. And the chairman kanina made mention about the 1.14 trillion pesos na ginastos natin the past 10 years. Inaaral ho nating husto yung mga budget ng iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Pagsamahin na natin ng DPWH, climate change, MMDA, DENR, etc. Tumataginting po na 1.44 billion pesos a day.
Patay!
1,440 million a day
Boom! Boom!
na flood control project. I mean, gaano ho kaya kasakit ito pagka ikaw ay hanggang ngayon may tubig baha sa loob ng bahay mo, wala kang kuryente, pag magtitimpla ka ng kape, lulusong ka sa baha dahil bababa ka ng bahay mo. Naranasan ho namin ito, Your Honors, kaya hindi nyo pwedeng sabihin na wala akong karapatan. Hindi ko sinasabing mabigat yung naranasan namin dahil sa bahay namin sa Bukawi, mismo may baha po sa loob ng mismong bahay namin at sa labas po lampas tao na. Mr. Chairman, bakit ba napakalaki ng pondo na binibigay natin sa flood control kung hindi naman natin napag-aaralan pala? Because it appears parang hindi napag-aaralan. Now, if you look at the feasibility study, Mr. Chairman, gusto ko malaman, epektibo ba itong mga feasibility study na ito? Because this year alone, meron pong 23 billion na nakalaan for feasibility study dito lang po sa DPWH. Kailan po ba talaga magkakaroon ng clear-cut policy? Binabanggit nyo kanina, yung reclamation. I have nothing against reclamation pero wala pa ho akong nakitang reclamation na effective. Siguro, I just need to be convinced na tama itong direksyon na ito. Dahil if you look at here in the Senate, kami ho sa Senado, meron po kaming group chat For the first time, naranasan ng Senado na halos hanggang baywang yung baha dito ho sa labas namin. And lahat ho kami nagtataka kasi parang first time ito, ang laki, ang taas ng tubig. And then you look at outside the Senate, wala na yung Manila Bay, Manila Sands na. Hindi ho ba parang common sense para sa amin, dahil hindi naman po kami eksperto, na sabihing may kinalaman yung reclamation dahil wala nang lusutan yung tubig Kitang-kita ho dito And at the same time, yan po yung dahilan kung bakit gusto ko rin sana, Mr. Chairman, ma-discuss yung status ng implementation ng Supreme Court mandamus ruling dito po sa Manila Bay. Nakasaad po doon na may 13 government agencies to clean up, rehabilitate, and preserve Manila Bay. Actually, nakalagay po doon and make it for swimming. Hindi ko alam kung alam ng mga justices ng Supreme Court yung definition ng swimming, may tubig. Dito po, buhangin po yung nakikita. So, paano magsuswimming sa buhangin? Kaya, nais ko din pong alamin, Mr. Chairman, kung ito ba nangyayari sa atin ay katanggap-tanggap sa ating pamahalaan. Siguro, importanteng maparating natin kay Juan de la Cruz na hindi rin tayo mapakali. Gaya nila, hindi rin tayo makatulog sa gabi. Gaya nila, nangangamba rin tayo anong meron bukas. Tataas pa ba ang baha? Sisirain ba nito yung mga gamit namin? May kikitain ba ako bukas? Meron ba akong gamot na kailangang inumin? Maleleptospirosis ba ako dito?
Nako. Kuting!
Mr. Chairman, hindi po katanggap-tanggap. Hindi po katanggap-tanggap itong mga nangyayari. Lalo na, masakit po pag ang sasabihin sa ating rason ay malakas kasi ang ulan. Marami kasi yung ulan. Meron po kasing basura. High tide po. At iba pa. Hindi po mababalik ng mga dahilang ito yung buhay ng ating mga kababayan na nalunod, na kuryente, namatay dahil sa bagyo, pati na po yung libo-libong halaga ng ari-arian nila, milyon-bilyon na winasak ng rumaragasang tubig baha, bagyo na ating naranasan. So again, Mr. Chairman, I would like to put on record my full cooperation and support kung ano man ang ating ano man ang kahihinatnan nitong hearing na ito, bagamat pangungunahan ko po kayong lahat, Mr. Chairman, and I don't think anyone can blame me how I'm feeling right now because taon-taon na lang po ito and it has worsened. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I expect a fruitful and meaningful discussion
Yes, thank you.
this particular issues. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Senator
Umpisa pa
Joel.
lang yan,
I
guys.
share the
Umpisa
same
pa lang.
sentiments dahil naranasan din, ako nakalubog din yung paa ko sa, sa Cavite. Naalala ko nung tatay ko noon, nakahiga siya sa kanyang parang hospital bed doon sa kwarto niya. Doon sa ground kasi, halos isang dangkal na lang, abot na yung kanyang kama, no? So yun yung mga ayaw nating mangyari na ulit. Imagine when was that? 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Pero ganun pa man. Okay, Senator JV? Majority Floor Leader Senator Tolentino, you're now recognized for your opening statement.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Mine is just a clarification. Marami nakikinig ngayon. Sasabihin nila, walang mangyayari dyan sa hearing na yan. Magtuturuan lang, magsisisihan lang, mag-a-account lang kung saan nagastos yung pondo. So, but we'd like to thank, Mr. Chairman, with your indulgence, we'd like to thank the members of the cabinet present here. I would love to see the attendance likewise. He should have been invited. The DOTR secretary should have been here. And who else should have been here? The DSHUD secretary should have been here. Mr. Chairman, I concur with your proposal that we should push for the National Land Use Zoning Act. Kailangan po yun. Pakatapos po ng hearing na to, marami pong lalabas na sino ba dapat na may hawak ng pumping station, sino ba yung nagpapatakbo, sino ba yung nagtayo, sino ba yung nag-ooperate. We will be tackling intrinsic management skills. But that's not the aim of this hearing. The aim of this hearing is to foster collaboration and proper coordination amongst various agencies, Mr. Chairman. Pinalad po ako, Mr. Chairman. Alam ko na po yung mga lugar na yan. Pinag-uusapan namin ni Senator Ejercito, Balongbato in San Juan, Batis in San Juan, Progreso in San Juan, Barangay Rivera in San Juan, and all the 273 esteros of Metro Manila. Metro Manila, for instance, Estero de Uli-Uli, Estero de Pandacan, Estero de Maypaho. Nalublubang ko na po lahat yan, Mr. Chairman. But at the end of the day, this hearing should, and I'm trying to assuage the listeners here right now. This hearing should be able to produce vital legal changes that would ensure effective collaboration amongst various agencies. I'm looking at the following, Mr. Chairman, and for the record, inuunahan ko na po yung committee ninyo with their indulgence, mawalang galang na po. Dapat po tingnan natin ang Presidential Decree 1096. 1977 pa ho yung ating National Building Code, Mr. Chairman. Dapat tingnan din po natin, Mr. Chairman, ang yung Republic Act 7924. 1995 pa ho yun, Mr. Chairman. That's the charter creating the MMDA. Sino ba ang in charge sa flood control? Is it the DPWH? Is it the MMDA? Dapat matingnan din ho natin, ma-revisit natin yung recently enacted DSHUD Law, Republic Act 11201. Saan ba ho dapat yung urban planning? Is it the HLURB? Or should it be given to MMDA in coordination with the various 17 LGUs of Metro Manila? Sila po yung nagtatayo ng kondominium na wala namang mga drainage. Dapat po siguro, Mr. Chairman, makita natin kung gaano ka-effective yung mga land use plans natin dito sa... I'm just referring to Metro Manila. Nabanggit ko na po yung National Land Use Plan. Mr. Chairman, ako po ay nangangamba. Ngayon po ay 2024. 2034, we will have an operational subway system. Kung dadalawin ulit tayo ni Karina sa 2034, at kung tatahak po yan sa binabahang mga lugar, tinitingnan ko kung saan dadaan yung yung subway natin na ilang palapag pa ilalim, 10 palapag mahigit pa, hindi kaya
Submarine.
bumaha din yung subway. So we have to look forward, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Rin na lang.
ultimately, this hearing should produce a collective focus amongst agencies. Mamaya mag-aaway kayo eh. Kaya siguro pinagtapat na kayo dyan sa magkakaharap kayong ganyan. Hindi po ito boxing ng Paris Olympics. Ang kailangan po dito is collaboration. The Filipino people deserve nothing less. Ang kailangan po makita nila, paano po tutugunan yung mga darating pang mga bagyo. Hindi ko po pinagyayabang nung panahon namin ni Senator Ejercito, wala pong baha nun sa San Juan. Wala pong baha nun sa Marikina. Marikina, tayo po yung yung ruler na nasa Santo Niño River, malapit sa Provident Village, malapit sa Concepcion 1. Tayo po yung nagpalista-lista yun. Nagpaguhit-guhit na ruler doon. At the end of the day, the Filipinos who are listening right now are wanting, are craving for a solution. Hindi po yung away-away. I yield the floor, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po. I yield the floor. Thank you.
Na, mag-uumpisa na, guys.
Thank you, Senator Tolentino. Senator JV.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mga
Magandang umaga
na.
po muli. Nandito na naman po tayo. Hindi ako nagkakamali. Gaya ng nabanggit ng aking kaibigan at seatmate, Senator Villanueva, halos pareho din yung problema. Pareho din yung mga circumstances. Siguro kung meron mang talaga na apektuhan dahil sila po ay talagang lubog sa Bulacan. Mr. Chair, ang mahirap talaga po dito, yung ang gusto natin malaman ngayon, hindi tayo magsisisihan, pero kung ano, moving forward, ano ba talaga ang mga solusyon na dapat natin tignan. Dahil ng isang taon, pinag-usapan lamang natin na ito sa committee ito. Ngayon, andito na naman po tayo, talking about the same problems. Nabanggit po na halos 3 bilyon, 300 bilyon ang budget para sa flood control. That's 1 billion a day, pero tila ano ba nangyari? Saan ba nagkukulang? Wala ba talaga tayong master plan? Patsi-patsi ba ang ating mga flood control programs? Pinaghati-hatian ba? Yun ang gusto natin malaman ngayong umagang ito. Mr. Chair, kanina po nabanggit ni Senator Tolentino, nung siya po ay chairman ng MMDA, yung flood control projects ng Metro Manila, ay ako po yung nagkataon ng mayor na nag-congressman. No? And na may pagmamalaki po natin, we were able to put up pumping stations in strategic areas sa San Juan, doon sa malulay areas, lalo na sa mga basin. At sa totoo lang, yung dating 15 to 20 foot na mga bahaing lugar, inawala na po yun. No? Kaya lang meron pong isa na naiwan po doon, alam po ni Secretary Bunoan yan, na 2 taon ko na pong pinalalagyan, kinukulit na mailagay, pero unfortunately ito po ay naiirata. Nasa halip na pumping station ang ilagay, napapalitan ng drainage improvement, napapalitan ng slope protection, kaya hindi po matatanggal ang tubig doon. Ang magtatanggal po doon, yung pumping station. Ganun po sa pag-ikot din po ni Senator Revilla. Ako rin po yung nagkaroon ng pagkakataon, nakita natin ang Central Luzon at Metro Manila ay basin talaga na iipon ng tubig. Ang kailangan gawin natin, matanggal ito. We need floodways, dikes, and water impounding. So siguro, dito papasok yung pinag-usapan kaninang master plan. In fact, Mr. Chair, the very first bill that I filed in this Congress is the Comprehensive Master Plan for Infrastructure Development. Sana po maipasa na po natin to nang sa ganun kung ano po ang mga national projects magtuloy-tuloy kahit sino po ang umupong Pangulo. Going back po doon sa isang sample na banggit ko po kanina, although it may be parochial, kung nangyayari po sa amin sa San Juan na paghahati-hatian sa halip na po masolusyonin yung problema, ito po ay nasa Metro Manila, much more in the provinces. Palagay ko ito yung dapat nating tignan, Mr. Chair, na yung pong master plan, yung pong mga big ticket items, yung mga floodways, dikes and water impounding areas, mga dams, na talagang dapat ito siguro high impact projects ang kailangan natin para matanggal ang tubig baha sa lalo madaling panahon. No? Iba na po ngayon, tama, climate change. Ako'y mayor din nung panahon ng Ondoy, talagang kakaiba na yung amount ng rainfall, pero ang importante, ito'y ilabas ka agad sa sa mga ilog sa karagatan. So Mr. Chair, hindi na po mapakaba. Ang importante ay marinig po natin ang mga ahensya at makapagtanong din at maliwanagan ang lahat sa atin dito. Maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you, Senator JB. Bago tayo magkainitan dito, no? Ground rules lamang po for this hearing. We will give 10 minutes for the presentations of the agencies. First, the DPWH, then the MMDA. And ayan, para ano, siguro, DPWH, you have your 10 minutes. And then DNR, pakinggan din natin. Secretary Bonoan, you are now recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of the committee, our beloved senators who are here present today, my colleagues in government, good morning po sa ating lahat. Well, first of all, Mr. Chair, we would like to express our appreciation for giving us this opportunity to discuss with your committee the programs and projects that are being implemented by the Department of Public Works and Highways in addressing the flooding problems throughout the country. Mr. Chairman, just to put it in proper perspective, the Department of Public Works and Highways core function and the basic mandate includes actually the planning, design, and construction and maintenance of national roads, bridges, and major and principal river basins throughout the country. Let me just point out that since I have already mentioned the extent of our responsibility at this point in time, there are 421 principal rivers, 421 principal rivers all over the country. 18 of these are major rivers, and these are where the river basins are located. When we say principal rivers, these are principal rivers that have drainage area of more than 1,400 square kilometers. And of course, tributaries to the principal rivers would be more than 1,400 small rivers, Mr. Chairman. So just to give that in proper perspective. Under this administration, Mr. Chairman, which took over in July of 2022, we have continued to expand on the projects initiated in previous administration. This commitment to this is a commitment for the continuity and ensures ongoing projects are completed efficiently and effectively, thereby enhancing the flood management capabilities throughout the country. Since this administration took over in July of 2022, we reported that we have completed 5,521 projects. Let me clarify a little bit on this, Mr. Chairman. These projects extends back as far back as 2019. 2019 up to 2023. Up to 2023. Many of these projects were suffered delays because of various factors, including the pandemic period of about 3 years. And when we came in, we continued on with these projects and completed. What we are saying now is that we have been able to complete all these projects that were implemented previously but were not completed by 5,521 projects, Mr. Chair. Let me clarify what are these projects all about. These projects are what we call the immediate relief projects for flood mitigation. At the same time, Mr. Chairman, when we came into July, we found out that there are several master plans already existing in the major river basins, in the 18 major river basins, in various stages of preparations. I have taken a look at all these river basins, and most of them, the master plans are still currently being updated at this point in time, take into account actually the climate change phenomenon and other factors that have to be incorporated in the master plan.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just request the Secretary to submit to us the list of master plans
Yeah.
and what is the status of those master plans. Thank you, Mr.
Can you
Chairman.
give us a copy of that list?
Yes,
Dami kasi
yes, Mr. Chairman,
pasikot-sikot
we will comply.
Okay.
Submit.
Just but in Mr. Chairman, just one question. Are they integrated, Secretary, with the master plan?
Yes, to some extent, I would say, to some
We
extent.
define some extent.
To some extent, because there is a engineering component, there is a social component, and there is actually a environmental component in the master plans, Mr.
Yes, without interrupting your briefing, but just to proceed logically and rationally. The 18 major river basins have been referred to repeatedly in the past, but you have also admitted on your part, Mr. Secretary, that they're in various stages of preparation and that in many cases they're not integrated. And that therefore, did they focus on flood-prone areas for social mitigation, also for the environment? The interventions, have they already been provided? Or are we still in the process of study? As your submission in the NEP would indicate, puro feasibility pa lang. Alin ba rito ang kumpleto na at pinagsama-sama ba to?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, I think the updating of the master plan is still ongoing in some aspects. And
So there's an admission on the part of the DPWH that in fact a national flood control master plan still does not exist. Tama po ba yun? Kasi hiwa-hiwala yung 18 eh. Hindi naman sila pinagdugtong-dugtong. Hindi pa naka-align sa MMDA, meron sari-sarili rin at pira-piraso yung ating LGU. Tama po ba yung sitwasyon?
well, to some extent, that's correct, Madam Senator. But what I'm saying is actually there has been master plans before that were carried out. And now I understand, and I've seen the record in the department, that is now being updated. They are just being updated at this
Pero
point.
yung
in time.
ibang master plan dyan, panahon pa ng ama ko, alam po natin na as early as 1972, nagkaroon na ng Metro Manila Flood Control.
Correct.
At alam din natin na merong Environment Code, merong Building Code, may Clean Water Act, may kung ano-ano, pati yung mandamos ng Korte Suprema na nagsasabi, i-align lahat yan. Pero wala naman tayong naapala, kundi yung Dolomite Beach, hindi po ba? Kaya, itatanong ko, saan inilalaan ang bilyong-bilyong pera kapag walang master plan? How do you choose the projects? Are there guidelines or parameters each time that you submit these billions and billions of requests? To what do you allocate if there is no integrated master plan for the entire country?
Siguro, we'll ask him to finish his presentation first, and then you answer that question.
But I think, Mr. Chairman, that's very
yes,
important
it's very.
because I think it's very telling that the master plan, the integrated master plan, is not in existence, Mr. Chair.
Let me clarify a little bit, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker. The master plans are very specific in each river basin. They are very specific in each river basin because they have different.
And that's why it's not
requirements.
integrated. In a way, because
Is it
iba-iba po yun eh.
so? Di ba yung totoong nangyayari? Kung sino yung masigasig at talagang nakatutok sa flood control, yun yung mga LGU o yung mga bahagi na tututukan din. Tapos, wala namang kinalaman dun sa karatig o sa katabi o sa sumunod. Bahala na sila. Pwede bang ganon? Hindi ba ganon naman nangyayari? Pira-piraso kasi. At patse-patse yung ating mga master plan. Yun ang problema. Kaya bumabagsak lahat kay
Magandang balita ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong araw. Sa pagtatapos ng aming balitaan, nagbigay kami ng mga mahalagang impormasyon. Maraming salamat sa pagtutok at pagsuporta sa aming programa. Huwag kalimutang manatili sa mga susunod na araw para sa mga bagong balita at mga kwento na dapat nating abangan. Mula sa Boses ng Masa, magandang araw Pilipinas!